I wanted to write this article about Tiffany Henyard, who is the Dolton, Illinois mayor and also the supervisor for Thornton Township, and all of her extravagant spending, outrageous behavior, whether it's her dressing up like Nino Brown, who's a character from New Jack City, rolling in and playing Rihanna's "Be You Better Have My Money" in reference to the taxpayers paying their taxes, intimidating business owners who may not be interested in donating to her campaign, telling Thornton Township residents that the meeting's being held in one location while having a quick 4-minute meeting elsewhere so they can't have their voices heard, or just something as crazy as spending $150,000 on a truck in taxpayer money with one signature when there's supposed to be two signatures. I mean, you go down the list, there's just so much that is fascinating and disturbing about what Tiffany Henyard is doing on just a small scale. And what I wanted to talk about in this article is that there are tyrants all over this country. And unfortunately, some of them are in government. You just give them a little bit of power and they take advantage of it. They don't care if there are people who get hurt by it. They don't care if they bankrupt a city, if they bankrupt a small village like Dolton. They don't care. It's ultimately about their insecurity. It's about fulfilling their desires. It's about their ego. Everything that she does, like plastering her face on billboards across the city or the village of Dolton, is much like Kim Jong-un having statues of himself all around the country in North Korea. And I truly believe if she had a military, she would have a military parade in her honor to show how great she is as well. But the question is, how did she get into power? And the reality is that she won in a very narrow margin, basically fewer than 150 votes between the top three candidates in the Democratic primary. And whoever wins the Democratic primary essentially wins the general election in Illinois. So, fewer than 150 votes was the difference when it came to her becoming mayor of Dolton. And maybe this is a warning for other people in other areas of the country. If you're invested in your town, maybe you need to show up locally. If you're a homeowner, if you're a business owner, maybe you need to turn out 15, 20 minutes and go and actually vote. Maybe pay attention to who's running for office. Do a little bit of digging, right? I imagine if you're paying property taxes, you're invested in the town that you live in or the city that you live in. So maybe we should take more of an effort. Otherwise, tyrants like Tiffany, they'll just keep coming around because we'll be so hyper-focused on what's happening in DC, who's the next president, and make that the end all be all. But people like Tiffany can bankrupt a town and it affects people directly really fast. So when, their services are diminished, when the police force doesn't have enough money, all these different things affect your safety. They affect how your city is run. It affects it immediately. Whereas whatever the president does takes a long time to trickle down to your home. So maybe this is a warning for other people. We need to pay attention. Otherwise, there are more tyrants who are going to come.